guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to a cozy book vlog. I just wanted to share some very cozy bookish moments from the past couple of weeks. The main reason why I wanted to do this video is because this week I had a very exciting author event slash like book event type of thing, and I don't really do like a lot of book event type of things, so I was really excited about it. It's for a new release that I have just been so excited for, an author that I really love, and I thought, why not just make a whole week out of it, do some cozy bookish things. I've been reading some really lovely books. We do a little bit of book shopping, also a little bit of book acquiring because I have been ordering quite a few books recently and they've started to come in. It's also been a little bit gloomy recently. We've had some very cozy rainy days, and doing cozy bookish things while it's raining is just like one of the best things ever. We'll also do a little reading journal update, and I think that will be pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoy. Fall videos are coming very soon, by the way. I'm excited to kind of start transitioning to the seasons, but I figured this would be kind of a nice in-between. So I hope you enjoy the video. We'll start out with a little trip to Book People, do a little bit of book shopping, and then we'll go from there. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy the video. Give you guys a little book haul because I have been ordering quite a few books recently. I actually ordered a bunch of books maybe like early last week, because there's been a lot of books that I've been wanting to get, a lot of books that I've been reading from the library and wanted some physical copies of. Most of them have now come in. I still have a couple that I'm waiting on that I'm really excited about. Actually, first let me share with you the book that I ended up picking up at Book People last week, and this has also been my current read. It's been taking me a little bit longer to get through. It's kind of a dense book in the sense that there's a lot happening, some heavier scenes and kind of a longer book as well. It also takes place over a long period of time, and I feel like sometimes books that do have a very long duration, me taking my time reading them and also having a long duration of reading it, it kind of immerses me in the story a little bit more because it really feels like you've been on a journey with the characters. Of course though, I picked up Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Marillier. I really like this cover. I didn't realize it would be this big, but I was just really excited to find this at Book People because I've been looking for this book at every bookstore that I've been going to recently, and I finally found it and I'm so excited. I think I'm around 60-70% into it now. I'm not entirely. This bookmark is a little bit outdated because I've mainly been reading it on my Kindle. But yeah, I'm definitely hoping to finish this one up soon because I'm loving it and I think the ending is going to be intense. And this is also part of a series too. This is only the first one. I think there's 6 books in the series. I just love Juliette Marillier. This is my 4th book by her now and I'm just obsessed. I am so excited to read more of her books this year. And then speaking of Juliette Marillier, I have 3 more books to show you that I ordered from her. Recently, I read Dreamer's Pool, which is the first book in the Blackthorn and Grimm trilogy. And I've been reading all of her books from the library, so I really wanted a physical copy of this one because I loved it so much and I really want to continue the series soon. I got this off of Pango. This is a really cute little mass market paperback version of Dreamer's Pool and I really love the artwork, and something about like a little pocket paperback is so cute. And I don't know if you can see the size difference here. Very different sizes for these books. My collection of Juliette Marillier books are definitely not going to match, but that's okay. I kind of like an eclectic look sometimes with authors' books. So I got this one, and then off of World of Books or Thrift Books. This was actually my first time ordering off of Thrift Books before. I feel like I've kind of heard of them for a little while, but it was my first time like actually ordering off of them. I think it's a great resource if you're looking to buy really affordable secondhand books, and they also have a wide variety of different like editions and that sort of thing. And it's really great for books that I was having trouble finding in in-person stores. So I decided to pick up the 2nd and 3rd book in the Dreamer's Pool trilogy. I think the 2nd one is Tower of Thorns. As you can see, this is a very different edition than Dreamer's Pool. My only critique, I guess, with thrift books after my first purchase is that I couldn't actually see on the listing if each edition was like paperback or hardcover. So I ordered this one thinking that it was going to be the matching mass market paperback, and it ended up being honestly a very beautiful hardcover. And part of me is like, do I want to, you know, replace this one with a mass market paperback so they can all match? I don't really know. I might just keep it for now. For some reason, it's not really bothering me that much. In the past, I've been like such a I need all my series to match kind of person, and I feel like I just don't really care as much about that anymore. I also just think this is a really beautiful edition. Again, I love the artwork, and I'm very excited to read this. This is the 2nd book in the series. And then also off of World of Books, I got the 3rd one, which is the mass market paperback. So now this trilogy is gonna look like this on my shelf, but honestly, I'm not too mad about it. I feel like it's kind of fun to have a bit more of an eclectic mix of editions. So those were my orders off of Thrift Books, and then I also have, I think, 1 more book coming from Thrift Books, and that one, I don't know when it's gonna ship out, hopefully soon. These 2 shipped so quickly, like I think I ordered them maybe on like a Wednesday and they came on Saturday. It was very quick and that was really fun and very exciting. But the other book that I got off of Pango is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. This is a book I read, I think I read the first one in 2023 potentially, and then I read the 2nd and 3rd one I think last year in 2024, and I really enjoyed this series. I didn't love the first one, but by the time I got to the 3rd book in the series, I was very invested and very immersed. I highly recommend this series. I think it's so well done. When I did my bookshelf reorganization and declutter last week, I decided to get rid of the Bear and the Nightingale series, honestly just because I don't love the US copies of them, and I just didn't want to keep the whole series, but I still really wanted the first one, so I found a great deal for the UK edition off of Pango, and I think this one is so pretty, very winter-esque, and I'm thinking that I want to read this or do a reread of this winter time because it's honestly such a good story. I feel like if I read it again, I would enjoy it even more than I did the first time. There's a lot of folklore in here, it's historical, there's a lot of very interesting themes, and it is truly the perfect winter book. So I think I'm gonna add this to my winter TBR this year, and I'm very excited about it. So that's my little book haul. For now, I have, I think maybe 3 or 4 more books that I'm waiting on that hopefully should come soon. And then tomorrow, I'm so excited. Tomorrow is the R.F Kuang catabasis event. I think she's just going to be like talking about her book, and then we also get a copy of her book. I don't know. I don't really know what to expect. I don't think I've ever been to an author event before, so I'm really excited about it, and I feel like that has to be one of my next reads too, especially since it's like a dark academia book and I just started school and it's fall. I feel like that could be really fun to read right now. And then hopefully later this week we can do a little bit of a reading journal update. That's kind of my plan. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'll see you tomorrow when we go to the R.F Kuang event. Hi guys, happy Friday. It has been a couple days since I last checked in and I thought we could do a little reading update because I have quite a few things. I finished a book, I started a new one, and then I also kind of just wanted to talk a little bit more about the R.F Kuang event that I went to on Wednesday because it was so much fun. I wasn't really able to film there a whole lot because it was like an interview event, but I did get a couple clips in and it was so much fun. So this event was all about R.F Kuang's newest release, Catabasis, which came out this past week. This is the beautiful copy we got. It is so beautiful, all the details, the copper foiling, the edge artwork, all of it is so pretty. So Ali Hazelwood, who is a very beloved author, I've never read anything from Ali Hazelwood before, but obviously she is very popular. She was there actually interviewing R.F Kuang, and they were basically just talking a lot about her inspiration for the book, her process in writing it, all the different themes, the magic system, the characters, and it was such a fascinating conversation. Ali Hazelwood was very sweet and so funny, and I really liked her dynamic with R.F Kuang. And R.F Kuang, I mean, if you've read any of her books, you know that she is just an extremely intelligent person. She was so well-spoken and thoughtful, but she was also so down to earth and chill and very like unpretentious in a way, which I really appreciated. It made the conversation really, really fascinating to listen to, but also just really entertaining and enjoyable and funny, and it was just such a great time. My mom and I walked out of the room with just the biggest smiles on our face. We had so much fun, and it definitely has made me want to do more of these kind of like authory events. It's also made me very excited for the Texas Book Festival, which I think is in early November. I went to it last year and it was really fun, and I'm excited to go to it again this year. I think they're going to announce the like author lineup for that soon, and that will be really fun because it's basically just a whole festival full of these types of like author talks and conversations, and I really enjoy going to book festivals, so that is something that I'm really looking forward to this year. And now I'm also just so excited to read Catabasis. This is a dark academia story about two graduate students who journey into hell to save their professor, and there's obviously a lot more to it than that. I think the magic system in this book is based around like logic and philosophy, which I think is going to be so interesting to read, and I'm just so excited about this. This is definitely going to be my next book. I'm also going to be including it in a very specific video that I'm really excited about coming out hopefully later in September, and I'm just so excited to get to it now. I know I've said that a bunch, but yeah, Catabasis by R.F Kuang. The event was amazing. And then my other update is that last night I actually finished reading Daughter of the Forest by Juliet Marillier. It's interesting, I started this book like a week and a half, maybe almost 2 weeks ago, and I think I read the last third of it / the last half of it within the past 2 days. The other night I stayed up so late reading this, and then in the morning I was reading it. On the bus ride to school I was reading it. Every chance I got I was reading this. I was so immersed and so just transported. I couldn't put this book down. I think I am going to give this book 5 stars because I loved it so much. It's been a very long time since I've been this connected to a story and the characters, and this book just really touched me in a lot of ways. It was so well done. I think what really stood out to me in this book were the characters and how absolutely fascinating they were, especially our main character Sorsha. I just really connected to her. She is one of the strongest, most courageous characters I think I've ever read about, and you really just feel for her. She goes through some very difficult things in her journey. This book takes place over the course of several years, and she's very young. The book starts out when she's like 12, and then I think it ends when she's 16, and during that time she goes through such difficult challenges but is so strong throughout them all, and it's extremely like admirable to read, and you also just really feel for her. And I think that when you are connected to a main character, it just makes every other aspect of the story so much more enjoyable. I also loved the plot. Everything that happened in this book was absolutely fascinating. There were some really action-packed moments, a bit of mystery going on, and it just had a really great combination of a lot of different things, which is something that I have noticed with her other books. A lot of them have fantasy, also great character dynamics, but also a little bit of mystery and action and romance and just all these different things going together that make the story very multifaceted, and every aspect is just so interesting. And then of course I absolutely loved the folklore in this one. This one I think is a bit of a historical, I'm actually not sure when it takes place, but it's kind of talking about the dynamic between Ireland and Britain several centuries ago and kind of the animosity there. And that's kind of what this book is about too, how it's so easy to like alienate people who are actually not so different than you, and just getting to learn about that time period I think was really interesting, and I just really enjoyed it. I loved this book so much. I'm kind of sad that it's over because the story took place over many years and you're following Saoirse through many different points in her life, and also because this book took me a little bit longer to read. I just feel like I've been in this world for so long, and now that I'm done reading it, it feels so weird to be done, and I'm definitely gonna miss it a lot. But the good news is that this is a series, and I think the second book follows Saoirse's daughter, I'm pretty sure, or something like that. I honestly don't really know what the rest of the series is about, but I'm definitely gonna have to check it out because I just loved this one so much. And then finally, I also wanted to talk about the book that I started because, you know, I finished this one. I finally started reading A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I really have just started this one. I'm like 40 pages into it. I read a little bit this morning, and I'm really enjoying this one so far because this is quite a bit denser and darker at times. I would definitely make sure to look up trigger warnings for this one. There's some very hard scenes to read, I would say, but it's just overall a bit of a denser, darker, kind of grittier story. And so after finishing that, I was thinking I would maybe switch it up a little bit and read something a little bit shorter and easier and more lighthearted, and I feel like this book is perfect for that. It seems like we're following our main character Sarah, who works at a magical inn with her aunt, and I think the premise of the story is going to be that she is trying to figure out a way to restore her magic. Something happened when she was a teenager that resulted in her losing the majority of her magic, and it seems like this is going to be a journey of how she gets it back. Yeah, I'm not very far into it, so I can't really give a whole lot of thoughts or tell you too much what it's about, but I'm really enjoying this so far. I never really doubted that I would, and I think it's going to be the perfect cozy kind of like early autumn book to read, and I'm just really excited to finally be reading it. It's very easy to read, like you're kind of just flipping through it. You don't even realize 10 pages have passed. It's very easy and immersive in that way, and definitely the perfect book to read after reading something like this, a very long fantasy book that's quite dense at times. This is exactly what I needed. So I think before we end off this video, I want to update my reading journal with my most recent read. I feel like I have been kind of neglecting my reading journal over the past few months just because I've been busy and working in my other journal a lot, but I did set up some spreads for August and I have to update this one, and so I think that's what we're gonna do next. Okay, let's go ahead and update my reading journals. Also, I just realized that this is like the last weekend of August, so I definitely have to set up my September spreads soon as well. Okay, starting out with this journal because this has all of my New Year's spreads in it. Okay, starting with my New Year spreads, first we just gotta fill out my little book tracker, and I did read all of Daughter of the Forest via my Kindle, so I'll just color in with this green color here. This is just a very simple numerical tracker to count, you know, how many books I read in a year, but also the colors serve to kind of signify how I read the book: physical, audiobook, Kindle, just kind of a double functional spread, but it's kind of interesting to see. Next we have my master reading log. This is definitely a page that I made like too much extra space for. I was scared I was going to run out of room, so I have these 2 full extra pages, and I highly doubt that I'm going to fill these up with books this year. Starting out with the title, Daughter of the Forest. The author is Juliette Marillier. This is the 4th Juliette Marillier book I've read in the past 2 months. I've been reading a lot of her books recently. I finished this yesterday, and yesterday was the 28th of August. And I'm gonna give it 5 stars. I have not been rating my recent reads because, I don't know, I don't always really know what to rate books like numerically, but I feel very confident in giving this one a 5 star. And then as for genre, Daughter of the Forest is fantasy, so I'll color it in with this corally shade here, which you can probably see is the most common color in my journal because I read mainly fantasy. My bookshelf page, my favorite. My color for August is this kind of light blue color. Next, we have my series tracker. I have a different series tracker in my most recent reading journal since I ran out of room with this one. Books bought. Oh, this is one I definitely have to update. I did buy this book, so I'll just make a little note here. And then as for the other books I've recently bought, I'll have to go through and see and then print out all the little covers so I can be a little bit more up to date with this one. But since I have finished Daughter of the Forest, even though I don't have a cover yet, I'm gonna go ahead and mark that one off. Next we have my favorite book by month, August is almost over. I don't imagine I'll be finishing a whole lot of other books, and this is definitely my favorite book that I've read this month, Daughter of the Forest. So I'll also have to go in and add a cover for this one, but I'll make a note here. I love this spread so much because I love seeing all my favorite books that I've read in the year. And I think that's pretty much it for this journal, except for my Hall of Fame. I need to make a new Hall of Fame since I ran out of space with this one. That will definitely have to be a spread I make soon. And let's move on to the next journal. Okay, this is another spread that I have to kind of go back and see and maybe update this one later because I did just buy Daughter of the Forest, but I also just read it. I guess that kind of cancels out one on my physical TBR. I haven't been making a whole lot of these book review pages recently, which makes me sad because I love making them. They're some of my favorite spreads to do, and I feel like I definitely have to make one for Daughter of the Forest, and I also definitely have to make one for Braiding Sweetgrass since those are two recent reads that I absolutely loved. Okay, this is my updated series tracker, which we're kind of out of room with this one. I might have to make another spread for this. This is just like a general TBR spread that I made, and I think Daughter of the Forest is on this one somewhere. Let's see. Yes, it's right here, which means that I probably do have a little cover that I printed out in here. This is a spread that I made because I was feeling just like a little bit overwhelmed with all the different TBRs that I had going on. So I decided to kind of like consolidate it into one spread just to kind of get an idea of the books that I was wanting to prioritize for the rest of the year. Oh, found it. Okay, I found the little cover, so we'll go ahead and stick that in, but I need to put the rest of these away. Okay, now we're on to my August spread. So this is pretty much the exact same information from the reading log that I had in the last journal, and then the only other things that I have on the spread are my book spot log and my new releases log. So I'll go ahead and fill this out, and also my TBR, which I have not made any progress with. Okay, and then the only other spread that I have in this journal is my Juliette Morellier author backlist. I made the spread recently. I really like how it looks, and this is just a way for me to keep track of all of her books because she has so many. As of right now, I've read the Wildwood duology, I've read the first book in the Blackthorn and Grimm trilogy, and now I've read the first book in the Daughter of the Forest, Seven Waters, I think 6-book series, and of course she has so many other books for me to get into, which is all just very exciting because every book that I've read of hers I've just really loved. Now we can go ahead and cross off Daughter of the Forest. Okay, I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and make a spread right now, kind of just talking about some spreads that I need to make. Like I need to make a new Hall of Fame spread, a new series tracker, my August wrap up, my fall TBR. It's a nice like little bucket list kind of. I recently got this sticker book here, which is literally just a book full of these like glossy kind of wax paper pages, and you can put all of your loose leaf stickers on here so that they're a little bit more organized. And I had a bunch of stickers that were just kind of like individual, and they were very messy. They would get all over the place, and so I went through and stuck them all throughout these pages, and now I just have this really beautiful like satisfying sticker book, which is so nice. I'm just gonna pick out some stickers to use for this spread because why not? I always try to make spreads pretty if I can. I think I'm gonna use my little fairy stickers here. These are some of my favorites. Okay, this spread is now all done. Very simple, just a little journal to do. And my reading journal is also now all updated, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and end off this video here. Thank you so much for spending the week with me and doing some cozy bookish things. I had a lot of fun filming just a little bit more of like a chill, cozy type of video. Fall content is coming very soon. Let me know if there's any specific videos you like to see for the fall time. I have some fun like reading vlogs coming up and that sort of thing, and I'm just very excited about it. I feel like I'm now starting to really feel more in the fall spirit and mindset, and I'm just very excited to celebrate it with you. That is pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in my next video very soon. Bye!